Fox has permanently banned Gene Simmons. And that was after he was in New York doing interviews on various shows for Fox in order to promote his book. Now, he made headlines earlier this week when he talked about how, women can really wield their power if they put some lipstick on. His quote also was to lift, separate, and point them in the general direction of men, referring to women's breasts. If women are looking for a promotion or some power in life. Well, of course, he offended some people, but that didn't stop Fox from inviting him on. So Simmons had come to Fox to do an interview with Maria Bartiromo on Fox Business's Mornings with Maria to promote his book. Right after that, things really started to fall apart, okay? So Bartiromo's studio is located on the 3rd floor at Fox News and Fox Business headquarters in midtown Manhattan. After the interview, he went to the 14th floor for an entertainment feature where he began acting improperly. And that's where things really started to get crazy. So there was a video shared by one of the Fox hosts that kind of illustrated the beginning of him losing his mind and doing things that ended up getting him banned. Here's the very beginning. Take a look.
Gene, right over there. In addition to power, would you like to do precipitation?
Oh my gosh! Gene Simmons doing weather. Come over here.
Janice.
The lighting is better here.
Yes. Janice, yes. Gene is now the weather machine.
We are maximizing Gene Simmons' potential with the weather maps. Let's take a look at it. Show me. Give me some temperatures.
Well, if you're in Provo, of course, why aren't you? It's 32 degrees Fahrenheit as opposed to Celsius. Now, Albuquerque, which is difficult to spell, but I know that because I used to be a 6th grade teacher, is now at 43 degrees.
Okay, so there he's already kind of starting to get a little
What a ham.
Right, what a ham.
This guy is a ham. He doesn't need to have his face painted to be entertaining. He really gets it going. I love when someone on an interview just like gets up out of their chair.
Yeah.
And then, what's gonna happen next? Obviously the weather in this case,
couldn't
but you
happen
never
in the
know.
old days with the wired microphone.
No, you
kept you
kind of fall back in your chair.
Yeah.
It's a little creepy though on the side.
Well, this is where things started to get crazy because
so far it's okay.
So far it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, but that was
show.
kind of like the beginning.
Not that hard to spell Albuquerque, by the way. When in doubt, it's a U.
Oh, okay.
A-U.
Then all of a sudden he goes into a staff meeting, barges in, interrupts it, and starts antagonizing the women in the room. He was quoted as saying, "Hey chick, sue me." And he said that while pulling open his velvet shirt to expose his chest and stomach.
He was wearing a velvet shirt, we saw it right there.
Good point.
Then he
this
started.
checks out.
Then he started telling Michael Jackson pedophilia jokes, because those are always fun, and then bopped 2 employees on the head with his book, making derisive comments about their comparative intelligence according to the sound their heads made when struck.
This is like a lot of weird stuff is happening in the story. Good job of whoever wrote this article to use the word Lloyd. Lloyd used the word bopped.
Yeah, bopped, yeah.
Like this is a story in an era of sexual misconduct reporting and sexual harassment claims where he used the term, his term, bopped him on the head with a book.
Yeah, that's what happened.
So can I chime in with something here that I know about Gene Simmons?
Sure.
So Gene Simmons is a huge fraud. I don't mean talent-wise, he may be talented. I don't know, Kiss isn't my bag, but I get it. People like them and God bless them for that. Everybody's got their own taste in music. He is, I believe, threatened and easily and wants to prove to people how smart he is. There's an interview which everybody, I hope, is probably still available. He did with Terry Gross on Fresh Air on NPR, probably like 4 or 5 years ago. And I mean, his behavior was so offensive. And I don't say offensive, like I don't mind when people get offended. We don't have a right not to be offended in this country. Sometimes you're gonna be offended, right? There are serious issues which we're dealing with now, but getting offended is, I don't think, one of them. But I just mean offensive to the soul. Not like we should reprimand him, just like, who is this guy?
What did he say?
He kept correct. First of all, I didn't know we were gonna talk about it today, so I don't. He kept using big words, probably some of them right, but some of them wrong, but in a way that was like, look at me. Like, you saw it there. I was a former 6th grade teacher. He can't let that go. He thinks he's smarter than everybody else, but but I'm telling you, he isn't. He's dumb. Gene Simmons is dumb as a post and is constantly trying to show off how bright he is, how he's your intellectual equivalent, whereas nobody cares. We're not, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't go around into rooms wondering, none of us do, thinking, oh boy, I hope people in here are my intellectual equivalents.
Yeah.
Right? It's not something we concern ourselves with at all.
Yeah.
But he wants to prove something. He has no sense of humor. None. His whole sense of humor is, outrageous, you didn't think I would do this, but I did, put my hand right there. So I just kept thinking, wow, total fraud. Everything about this guy is fraud. My dad, God bless him, God rest his soul, used to have a great expression. He would just like analyze a story, any story that involved a Jewish person or Israel or anything. He'd read the story and then he'd go, good for the Jews or bad for the Jews.
Right.
And as it says here in this story, Chaim Witz is his name, and he immigrated to the U.S. in 1957. Gene Simmons, bad for the Jews.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, one person quoted at Fox told the Daily Beast the following: "It was pretty severe."
Yeah,
it's got to be bad if he's permanently banned from Fox. So I don't know what's going on in his head. He just doesn't seem like a great guy to be around.
Listen to that interview sometime. And Terry Gross,
I'm definitely
man. I mean,
going
if
to.
you ever if you don't appreciate Terry Gross, and I have a significant admiration for her. This is it's the thing I like to be good at is doing these interviews, and she's very good at it. And she was she did turn. She didn't like stay fully composed. She did it perfectly.
Yeah.
Like at some point, she was like, "What's wrong with you? Why are you talking to me this way?" Oh, by the way, I'm leaving out. He was also unbelievably sexist, like out of control sexist. So it's worth. I hope it's up somewhere. It's worth listening to.
I will definitely check it out.
In terms of Terry Gross's absolute professionalism and competence, and his sort of outrageous simpleton behavior.
This story does, the fact that he's banned from Fox, it's kind of a sign of the times. Because if this happened 2 years ago, they would have just offered him the 8 p.m. slot.
Right, totally. That's right. Yeah.
Watch the Young Turks commercial-free. Download it or stream it. Watch it any way you like at tytnetwork.com/join.